Hi everyone, and welcome back to F-Bomb Friday. I am your host, Tracy Preston, along with my husband, Todd. Hey, hun.
Hey, baby.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's hit it. Seven Gables is a dead-end road just off of Dexter Trail, just a few miles south of the town of Dansville. The term dead end is more than appropriate for this road, for it is revered as the most haunted road in Michigan. In the quaint town of Dansville, nestled in the heart of Ingham County, a chilling tale of vengeance, dark magic, and hauntings has been whispered about for generations. The story revolves around a young lady who lived in a small cottage on Seven Gables Road in the late 1800s. She was known for her extraordinary healing abilities and knowledge of herbal remedies. She would often tend to the sick and injured in her community, using her skills to bring comfort and solace to those in need. However, not everyone saw her actions as benevolent. A faction of local men, fueled by fear, superstition, and perhaps a dash of jealousy, began to accuse her of practicing witchcraft, also typical for the 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
The accusation snowballed, and soon a mob of men gathered outside of her cottage, demanding she be punished for her alleged crimes. In a horrific display of vigilante justice, the men stormed the cottage, overpowered the young lady, and subjected her to a brutal lynching. The exact circumstances of her death vary depending on the account, with some claiming she was burned alive inside her home. Others say she was burned at the stake, and yet others say that she was hanged from a tree. According to local legend, as the woman lay or hung dying, she placed a curse on the land, vowing that it would never know peace again. The locals whispered that the woman's spirit still roams the land, seeking justice for her untimely demise. Years passed, and the land lay dormant, its dark history only mumbled within local circles, but the curse remained, a latent evil that stirred and seethed beneath the surface. Then one day, a man with a dream came to this forsaken place. He saw beauty in the overgrown fields and envisioned a home where he could raise his family in peace and happiness. And so he built a house, unaware of the witch's curse that hung over the property like a specter. The house rose from the earth, its gables reaching toward the sky like skeletal fingers. It was a place of warmth and laughter, for a time, filled with the joy of children playing and the loving gaze of a devoted family man. But as time moved on, strange occurrences began to plague the household. Tools would go missing, food would spoil, and an unshakable feeling of unease settled over the family. The man, once a pillar of strength and sanity, began to crumble under the weight of the witch's curse. Madness crept in, its tendrils wrapping around his mind, squeezing tight. He became paranoid, convinced that the world was against him and that his family was in danger. In a fit of delusional rage, he committed the unthinkable. With rope in hand, he led his wife and children to the gables of their once happy home, and one by one, he hung them, their bodies swaying in the wind like macabre puppets. The house, once a sanctuary, had become a chamber of horrors. The man's grip on reality snapped completely as he realized what he had done. Consumed by grief and guilt, he stumbled out into the night, the trees creaking ominously above him. He found the perfect towering tree, its limbs reaching out as if to claim him. And there, he too met his end, his body hanging lifeless, a grim testament to the devastating power of the witch's curse. The house stood for some years afterward, a haunting monument to the tragedy that had unfolded there. But time, relentless as it is, eventually took its toll. The house crumbled, the wooden bones worn down by the elements, until nothing remained but some scattered remnants of its old foundation. Yet, the curse persisted, a malignant force that continued to cling to the land. Locals would mutter about the hanging tree, a twisted, gnarled thing that seemed to lean in as if listening to their conversations. They spoke of shadowy figures around the area, the ghosts of a family torn apart by madness and malice. Some brave souls venture close, reporting strange occurrences, disembodied whispers, unexplained cold spots, and an overwhelming sense of dread that lingered long after they left the accursed land. Some also claim to have seen orbs, or a feeling that they were being followed and watched. At some point, a red wrought iron gate was erected on Seven Gables Road. Some say it was a futile attempt to keep the malevolent energy at bay, while others claim it was a warning to those who would dare to trespass. The gate became a harbinger of doom, as a local legend warns that those who cross it and hear a woman screaming will be cursed. The last person to exit back over the gate will die within 3 days, a grim fate that has been said to befall many who dare to tempt the spirits. As the sun sets over the woods and fields of Dansville, the shadows cast by the gate seem to grow longer and darker, as if warning would-be visitors to turn back while they can. The legend of the witch and her tragic fate serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the dangers of fear, superstition, and the devastating consequences of mob mentality. Now, here are some notable coincidences that involves Seven Gables Road. On July 9th, 1970, Lori Morningham, the 16-year-old daughter of the Lansing, Michigan mayor, was kidnapped and murdered in Lansing, and her lifeless body was found near Seven Gables Road. 35 years later, the body of 7-year-old Ricky Holland, who was murdered by his adopted mother in Dansville, was discovered in almost the same location near the haunted road. Author and investigator Jenn Carpenter has visited the area several times and never without witnessing some strange occurrences. She states, quote, "One night I was beyond the gate and turned the video camera on just to get a look around, and suddenly a very visible mist type figure ran right past very quickly. I saw it that night, not just on camera, but with my eyes as it ran by." Now, Jenn is the author of a book, Haunted Lansing, in which she writes about the Witch of Seven Gables, along with many other Michigan hauntings. Christopher Greenshields, another investigator and author, has been visiting the trails past the gate on Seven Gables Road for over 30 years. He recounts an occurrence when camping with a friend one night. Quote, "It was dead quiet at 2:00 in the morning. We heard what sounded like a woman screaming, and it was close. We started looking around for any signs of people, but didn't see anything." Greenshields is the author of the book, The Witch of Seven Gables, Volume 1. He also wrote a poem about the witch, and we'd love to share that with you now. So, hon, take it away.
Gather ye and listen well, this tale I do proclaim. A legend here to you I tell, of a seldom spoken name. The fairy father drew her nigh, tried thricely by the fates, last one over first to die, those passing over her gates. The icy gripping ghostly fear of resounding ghastly wail, never you a banshee hear, and live to tell the tale. So brace yourself and gather round to hear these witchy fables of haunted wood and cursed ground, and the Witch of Seven Gables. Know you this, the truth I speak, as sure as I draw breath. When going there a witch to seek, you'll find there only death. So stay you home and lock the door, provoke you not her wrath. For this witch is bent on war, so cross you not her path. Tell them all for whom you care, precisely what I've said. Stay the hell away from there. It's better safe than dead.
So, will you dare to cross the gate and face the consequences? Or will you heed the warning and stay far, far away? The choice is yours, but be warned. The spirits of Seven Gables Road are not to be trifled with. To be honest, I have the goosey bumps.
Me too.
Like legit, right down my arms.
So I have to be honest, I've never heard of this story before either. But I have to give credit to my friend and colleague, James Everett. We were speaking last week. He's a fan of the podcast. He told me about this story and that him and his friends planned on visiting the gate. I was compelled. I had to look into it. And I kind of brushed it off at first, but then as I started finding more information, I was like, whoa, this is not only a very well-known urban legend, it's quite spooky. And then we got the confirmation from our writer, Rebecca Hires, as we were out working in the yard, and she came over to chat with us, and she was like, oh yeah, I know about that story. That's a good one.
Yeah, and she's like, just hop on this road here and go straight. You'll run right into it. We're like, say what?
Yeah, it's like 23 minutes away from where we're at right now. Yeah, so James, him and his buddies went to the gate this past weekend, and he said as they got closer to the road, he could feel this creepy feeling just overcome him.
Well, first of all, thank you, James. Second of all, so how did he describe it? Was it heavy? Did he go into detail about the feeling he was feeling? Like
Yeah,
what?
he said all him and all of his buddies, they just felt really weird and just really creeped out about it. Before they had all took off, they were all kind of joking about it.
Like, woo!
Yeah, and as they got closer, they were all fucking freaked out,
Now, they went in the evening hours, I'm assuming.
They went in the evening hours.
Like how late into the night?
I don't know exactly what time, but
But it was dark.
It was good and dark out.
Oh.
So they jumped the gate, and
Wait, do you have to? Is it just a freestanding gate? Like it's just a gate, or is there a wall and a gate, like a fence and a gate?
the best way I can describe it, to me, it looks like an old farm gate, the big wrought iron double wide gate, that latches together. This one in particular is padlocked with a chain, so you can't just open it. It's not a very tall gate, and it's very easy to climb over. So,
But you can't walk around it.
You can't walk around it.
Oh, okay.
There's lots of bramble and trees and bushes around on each side, so
I gotcha.
So it's easier to just go over the gate.
Right.
He said they seemingly walked for miles past the gate, and it just seemed to go nowhere. They were all freaking out, and at one point they all just started running and came back and got over the gate. He sent me a message as soon as they got back, and I was like, dude, tell me you weren't the last one over the gate. and he said he was not, so that's a good thing. And I was like, holy shit, well, we got 3 days to find out.
Yeah, let's see if you make it. But he kept trying to work. Like he's still alive.
Yep, he's still alive.
But he wasn't the last one over the gate.
He wasn't the last one over the gate. One of his buddies was the last one over the gate.
And has he been in touch with his friend? Like all good?
I think everything's all good.
Okay.
Yeah. And they didn't hear the woman scream, so that's a good sign as well.
So I'm a little curious. Did they have flashlights or candles, or it was just
had nothing? Just
so they were in the pitch black of night.
In the pitch, yeah.
Oh no.
Right.
That's pretty ballsy.
Good old James, he's 19 years old. He's a thrill seeker.
Right.
So kudos to him. At my age, I don't know. I might have a heart attack. Just, but
I'm thinking, should we do it? I mean, there's just two of us. I might trip you. So I'm the first over the gate. Fuck it. I love you, babe, but I'm not taking that chance.
That's right. You know what? And I can't even run as fast as you walk on a normal occasion. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have my freaking track shoes on. You can count on that.
Now, we talked about this story last week while I was investigating, and the whole idea about the guy going crazy, it's very reminiscent of Amityville. How did he just talk his family into, come on, it's hanging time, just follow me? So the only way I can make sense of it in my brain is they had to have fell victim to the madness of the witch's curse as well, because, what else would the dad, was he like, come on, everybody, it's time to get hung?
Yeah, because let me tell you, if you, like, let's say we have a bunch of kids and you got this crazed look in your eyes and a rope and several ropes in your hands, I'd be like, oh, okay. I'd let you go first. And then I'd lock the windows and grab the kids and we would run.
Right.
And when we talked about them, like, they all just waited to be hanged.
Right. And how did he hang them from the Gables? Did he, talk them all up on top of the roof?
He would have had to have built something.
Come on, this will be fun, right? It's family time.
What's Dad doing with the rope? I don't know. Let's go.
Right.
He said go, let's go. But back in the 1800s, you did what the man said, I guess. But hell no.
So another version is that he burnt the house down after he killed his whole family. So there's that. And now Christopher Greenshields, he's been going out there for 30 years. He says that he has found where the original witch's cottage was. And,
oh, really?
Yeah, because he's been out there so many times, and he's found remnants. He's found, like, old hardware from gates and things of that nature. So, but apparently he's the only one that knows where the original cottage was. So,
well, I wonder how big this property is. Do you know?
It's like 500 acres, and it's owned by the state of Michigan, I believe, now. So.
Oh. And they're not doing anything with this land.
I think it's just, it's like a hunting preserve, I think. A wild game preserve.
Okay.
So.
Well, I got to give it up to James and his friends. That takes big sacks to do that. A big sack. Several big sacks, really.
Right. Well, when you're 19, you got big sacks, so.
Right.
Brave James.
Brave James.
That's what I'm going to start calling him now.
Big Brave James.
Big Brave James.
Yeah.
Yep.
Would you do it? It's not far from home, babe.
Yeah, we could go check it out.
We should check it out. And we should probably take some sage because that's, as I was reading the story, I was just thinking to myself, was anybody maybe tried to release her?
Yeah.
If this is by any chance true.
Right.
Because back in the day, yeah, women were being hung. I don't know if she had any type of American Indian.
And I'm glad you brought that up because there's been several, and when I say several, I mean a lot of paranormal researchers that have gone out there. There's no historical facts that they could find about any of this. So this is really all urban legend. Mm-hmm. But these paranormal researchers do say there is stuff out there, and a lot of them believe and say that they're Native American spirits. One even said that she didn't experience any kind of ill or dangerous type of feeling. Seemed to be more like a happy feeling. And I'm not surprised. I mean, Michigan rightfully belongs to the Native Americans.
Right.
So, I mean, they were here way before us, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's Native American spirits everywhere.
Right.
And the cool thing is, a lot of people say they see orbs. A lot of these haunting stories, you're going to hear about the orbs. It's a very common thing that people seem to see.
Right.
So, and we know we know a few people that have seen orbs before. So.
Yeah, we do. Well, this is a more obtainable little field trip for you and I.
Sure,
it's very close to home.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about.
We don't have to be gone all day.
We don't have to find a babysitter for the dogs.
No babysitter for the dogs.
Shit, maybe we ought to take Sarge with us just in case, though. Not Sarge.
No, he's too afraid of everything.
Let's take Arch.
Arch will be like, doing, doing, doing. He'll be hopping around.
He'll be the first one over the gate. I can tell you that.
Yeah. So then it's Archie, me, then you. That's how that's going to go down.
Well, if I'm holding the leash of Arch, I'll be the second one because he'll be dragging me.
I know you'll go flying like, what was that dog, Marmaduke?
Yeah.
You'll be flying in the air behind Marmaduke.
Right.
I'll still beat you both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sage would definitely need to take, and maybe some Doritos, just in case there's some shit elves out there.
Regular or the new spicy dill pickle?
Ooh, I'm not sharing those.
I'm not sharing those. We'll just get a regular old bag.
Yeah.
Well, great story. Thanks, James. I appreciate it. I'm glad you had that conversation. And again, kudos to you for actually getting out there and doing it. Dear Todd. That way, we're sure to do it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. And we will see you again on Malice Monday.
See you on Monday.